But I really like this. This has a, as she said, this is very colorful and the fabric is really nice. Look, you have a stretch to it. This is pretty. These are also gorgeous. And this green is giving life. Oh, nice. This green is
It's
giving.
chartreuse.
Hello. This is giving holding my belly whole night, but I'm out there. See? This is really nice. No, she has a lot of nice stuff. I love the like Caribbean theme vacation sets.
Yes.
Yeah, I love these.
Journey, the experience, the hub.
So today we are talking color, fabric, cloth. As you all like to tell me, I'm a big frack on them because you all know I am a lover for everything outside of the box. You all know I love my big earrings, my big chains, my flowing garments. And yes, this today, yes, I paired them with a pair of Tory. This is Adanna. Adanna, hi my love.
Hello.
How you have feeling?
It's good now. For now. For now.
You are no stranger to mannequins, clothes, machines, you name it.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, I've been sewing for let's say about 14 to 15 years, but I've been in business full time for, as of December last year, would have been 10 years. Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
10 years.
10 years in
we
business.
call this what? The clothing business, fabric business.
Yeah, fashion industry. I just
Fashion
say,
industry.
yeah, because I also teach sewing as well.
Yes,
so
the courses.
fall,
Yes, Taylor M.
Taylor M.
Yes, so we offer courses for beginners.
Beginners, we do have intermediate levels, we have advanced, and then we continue to grow the curriculum to introduce new options as our students, I would say, develop in the
Progress.
skill. They always come back, so we develop classes specific to them as well.
So we calling you Miss today then?
yes. Although I tell them, okay, don't call me Miss. I feel
No, we are
old.
calling Miss. Young, vibrant,
Yeah.
thriving. We're
Yes.
calling you Miss
Yes.
today. So we have 10 years sewing.
Yes.
We
Well,
have
so 14 years sewing, 10 years of
10
business.
years of business, right?
Yes.
Thus far, how has it been for you?
It has been, I would say, fulfilling. It has been tough, but it has been fulfilling. I always go back to my why when it gets tough, but it has always
love
been
that.
fulfilling
Yes.
overall, definitely.
And what is your why for doing what you do?
I would say my why would definitely be, it's something personal in terms of the transformation I experienced when I just started sewing. And I would have been sewing for like my sisters and my friends when they have little events. I'm okay, we're going somewhere, let me sew something for you.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
love to see when I created this garment, how they would have transformed and how they felt.
Hello.
How they felt confident. I really loved that, and I really loved same thing with the school, the transformation I personally experienced with learning a skill as sewing. I really wanted to share that skill so other persons could also experience the transformation of something simple as learning to sew.
Now, I always tell people our children take pattern after what we do.
Yeah.
And the reality is most of our children are moving from office jobs and safe jobs
Definitely.
into being entrepreneurs and
Yes.
wanting to have their own and build their own and create their own. Being in this for 10 years and not playing it safe.
Yes.
Because we all know what COVID did to many businesses. What is one tool you will pass from yourself onto a young entrepreneur?
Yes, I would definitely say being able to be open-minded, to step out of the box, to try new things, to always, I would say, develop on your skills. So don't just stick to one thing. For example, I'm just bringing in my son. Even from now, he's 7, and actually he turned 8 the 8th of, in December. I'm sorry, Saeem, but he recently turned 8 in December, months ago. And we have this thing where we have him open to venturing into every avenue that he wants to. He's into coding. He is at the top of his class. He is into art. So anything that he finds interesting, or anything I should say that you as an entrepreneur find interesting, don't be afraid to venture into it, because I originally started off wanting to get into human resource management in a company. I was doing my degree in human resource management. I was doing all other things. And because I was able to have this skill now with my hands, I was like, okay, I think this is where I want to dive into. So definitely be open to trying new things and open to failing. Don't be afraid to try new things and
girl.
failing.
That is a tip
Yes.
I think we need to elaborate on,
Yes.
because failure comes across as a stop.
No.
Failure comes across as this is the end,
Yeah.
let me put it down and let me pick up something else.
Yes.
But then you go into that something else, missing what you have missed before.
Yes.
How do you deal with failures?
Honestly, I still struggle with it even as of entering into the new year. A lot of things I had to, switch up and change. And I, again, go back to my why and always have to tell myself, like, it's really a journey. It's not a destination. And in order for me to be on this journey, there will be ups, there will be downs, and it's what I choose to do with the downs. So it's either I would stress about it, like it's not going to change the situation,
Yeah.
right? But I could learn from it. So I try to look at failure not more as, okay, I fail. As I say, honestly, it's still a struggle. I still always have
We
to
are
remind
human,
myself.
yeah.
But I try to pull the lessons from it and see how I can do better. So I always try to do better and learn from it. It's not about perfection. It's not about this quote unquote succeeding. Like, what is that really?
The social media ladder of success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is that really? Is what makes me better than I was yesterday, or what makes me better in this new situation that I was in, anyone that I quote unquote would have failed
And in this business, it's not just Adanna, but Adanna the brand.
Yes.
Because you are a representation of something
Yes.
that people are buying
Yes,
into.
in a big way. Bigger than I thought.
From your mouth to God, yes.
Yes.
Right? So it's a representation of the brand that people are buying into. And you keep saying you go back to your why. What is your why?
So the why would be definitely to create an impact. I mean, persons would hear, like, create an impact from fashion, create an impact from sewing. Like, you have no idea. It is very impactful. I see it a lot, again, from my clients wearing the garments, how they feel, especially for me personally. I love oversized. I'm like you. I love, you see my shirt? I love
My friends are saying
oversized.
we're going for brunch. Don't dress up. I be like, but what is that? How to do that?
Yes, I love, and because for me, it's more, like, I feel more confident like this, especially after having a child. The body changes. I can be as real as I can here, right? Like, the body changes, and I'm still even working with, like, I wear stuff to feel comfortable, and I like to provide pieces for women like myself, right?
Yeah.
Who, like, we don't always have to wear
When you
the...
have on those tight
Right. Yes. So even though I still provide pieces for that, I still want to be able to also create pieces for women to feel comfortable, for
Different
women
body
to feel
sizes,
confident.
different types,
Yes,
yeah.
versatility is also my thing, because I love to be able to allow the clients to mix and match, to get more than one wear from their pieces. So it's very versatile. You could always get many different looks from one piece. And again, the why for the sewing would be just being able to be self-sufficient enough to hem the clothing, like being able, if your daughter, I'm sure, like her school clothes, sometimes you need
You
to
should
do
see
a
me
little,
put a button.
exactly.
You need to see me put a button on her shirt. I be like, baby, put on that. Mommy will buy a new one. Put that down.
Exactly. So you could save money if you could just make that little repair, and it's very simple once you get to that point of learning the basics. That is why I really started sharing this skill, because it doesn't have to be to start a business like me. It's literally just to be self-sufficient.
Yes.
Whether it's for yourself, whether
Yeah.
it's for your kids, whether it's for your family. If you want to get deeper into it, you can create garments for yourself.
What I like is that the era in which I went to school, we were taught that getting your 7 CXC passes and landing a corporate job, that is the level of success. And we were so coded into believing that that is where we have to be, that when we didn't reach that marker, I failed.
Yes.
And now we are seeing that skills, using your hands, using your mouth, these are the things that are taking you 10 times further than corporate establishments. No disrespect to you all out there, we are just calling it what it really is. And now, as a parent myself, I see the importance of her learning a skill. Hairdressing, nails, sewing, you name it, you have to be able to use your hands.
Yes.
So we're talking use your hands, right? So how are we going about picking fabrics.
Right.
Fabric picking is not
Yes.
an easy thing. I have learned that.
Yes, fabric. So for me, again, I'll act like if I'm speaking to a student, right?
Hello. Yes, miss.
So they're like, the world of fabric is very wide. Like what you see here is like very minuscule to what fabric consists of. So in terms of choosing fabric, it would be the weight, which would mean the flow of it, like, you know,
Right.
whether it's light, whether it's medium weight, whether it's heavy weight. So that would be how it flows, which goes into the drape, because the
Right.
weight would affect the drape of it. So if you want something flowy, you would go for something
Light.
lightweight. So like the kaftans and all of those stuff would be like your lightweight fabric. So like your chiffons and your rayons. If you want something with more structure, you will up the weight, meaning you would want something a bit more medium weight. So that would be like your cottons and your linens.
Like
so
over
that,
here,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, and then we have the
Bodysuit would be
heavier
for
weight.
spandex.
Yes, this is stretch.
Right.
Yes, so we have knit fabrics and then we have woven fabrics. So your knit fabrics would be your spandex.
Right.
And your woven would be your non-stretch fabrics. So they are created differently, which allows it to stretch or don't stretch.
Right.
And then we have in terms of the breathability of the fabric. So we have natural fabrics, we have synthetic fabrics. So like I love to say, choosing your fabric, even for clients, if they come to purchase, I love to ask what event it is for, especially for carnival season. We would do a lot of custom wear. So you have to choose the fabric. Like if it's a day event, the fabric you would wear
Light.
any night. Exactly.
Yes.
You wouldn't want to wear any day, especially if you're going to a brunch where the sun is going to be hot.
You have never met me. I will be out there with
Regardless.
my fan, and I am here. I'm having a good time, and frack is all fracking there.
But I'm sure the fabric choice would still very be intentional,
Yes.
because you still want
Yes.
to be
Comfortable.
breathable. Exactly. So that is how we choose the fabric for the pieces, thinking about how comfortable it is even on the skin, how it feels, because you don't want fabric that itches, right? So I work a lot with more natural fibers. So that's the cottons and your linen, which would be more breathable, which would be softer on the skin as opposed to really rough or itchy.
And this is what?
That is cotton.
Right.
So everything here would be cotton, linen, a mixture of a blend and so forth. So I try to work with the natural fabrics to just allow that breathable, especially here in the Caribbean. We have the heat. We see what the heat does to us.
Yes.
So just in order for it to be comfortable.
So if you're seeing me out there, and until I am, stop and say hi. You look gorgeous. And I'll be like, oh, I know, thank you, right? No, but it's really understanding body types.
Yes.
And the reality is a lot of women are insecure about their body structures.
Right.
Especially after having children.
Yes.
And our bodies just do what they want for us.
Yeah.
So finding somebody who understands, okay, listen, we're going to make this work. And it's going to look amazing
Yes.
when you get outside there, right? I think it's a job description you can't take lightly because
True.
you're responsible for how people feel.
Yes.
And how people may walk up to them and how people may interact with them. So it's one of those job descriptions that I'm telling you, you cannot take lightly. I have had seamstress when I get to pick up my outfit and it's not what I want, I literally wanted to cry.
Wow, I know. I've heard this story.
I wanted
I've heard
to
those
cry.
stories. Yes.
And that is the reality of dealing and being in this industry. Any Monday wear?
I no longer do that. That was one of the pivots I had to take after COVID. That was actually a really difficult pivot because before COVID, I would have been doing a lot more strictly custom wear. So now that I have my website where you could go and purchase stuff already created, like I already know what collections or mini collections I have, it was not like that before COVID. It would have been strictly custom wear. So I would have dabbled in everything. You get in swimsuits from me. You get in Monday wear from me. Anything you want, you get it. But then I realized for my mental health, it wasn't working.
Yes.
As much as, okay, yes, I want to do everything.
Yes.
I had to really niche down and be like, okay, this is what I want to stick to. And that is how I was able to scale the business because I can't be doing everything. At least I chose not to. I mean, I could do it. I could do it. But I wanted to have that niche and really scale down. A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, you lose money. But I was like, I'm okay with that because I really don't want to lose the value that I provide, right? As
And
much
time,
as exactly.
as a parent now, putting things into compartments making sure that my time is where it needs to be, making sure
Exactly.
he is good, making sure the client is good, making sure that
Yes.
I am good. It's a task by itself.
Yes.
So after 10 years, what has been your biggest success thus far in this industry?
Ooh. Ooh. What do we describe as success?
Everybody definition
is different, right? I would say for me, what makes me feel like, oh yes, like I feel successful again, I would go back to the why as to the impact I have on my clients and my students. Seeing students come and say, Miss, again, just call me Miss. It's like, y'all, I mean, we're almost the same age. Miss, like they will send stuff that they do even after the class. Some would have started businesses and really advance their skill. That to me makes me like, yes, Adanna. Like my pause raising.
Yeah, you're doing
like,
it pretty
yes,
right.
yes,
You're
like,
really
yes,
nice.
Adanna, when clients send me images of them in pieces and they enjoy like actually wearing them and they tag me like without me even asking and stuff. Yeah, that makes me feel yes, yeah. Like this is why I'm doing it. That is success.
Passion and purpose.
Yes, that makes me feel
intertwine with
successful.
each other. Yeah, I always say that passion and purpose has a way of finding each other at the right time. And when they
Definitely.
do collide, you tell yourself, yeah, this is why I am doing
Yes.
what I am doing.
Yes.
What has been your biggest struggle though?
Yeah, that's a happy question
I
as
know,
well.
right? But it's part of the growth.
It's part of the growth. Okay, so I would say the biggest struggle within the fashion industry would go back to what I mentioned in terms of the pivoting. So having to make decisions that make sense to the business in terms of, okay, with knowing that I'm going to lose clients and stuff like that. So the struggle is within the fashion industry. For me, I'm going to be really real, is a lot of people don't appreciate what we do in terms of
creating.
me choosing the fabric. That whole is a process, right? It's not just, I just tell persons, y'all feel like just like close friends, I'll be like, y'all feel like doing this? And clothing appear, it's a process. And I feel like a lot of persons don't appreciate that process and they expect like prices and stuff to be the same as if you get something from fast fashion. If someone orders something and they clear it and they put a price on it, it's not going to be the same as someone who's actually going through this process. So that has been difficult in me trying to get the business to be, affordable, because at the same time I don't want to like take away persons experiencing wearing the handcrafted clothing, but also finding the balance where it's also profitable and makes sense in order for the business to scale. Because I don't want to just be working hard, like for what?
Nothing to show.
Exactly.
Nothing
as much as I love what I'm doing, I still need to scale the business. I still need to make a living from it. So that honestly is a struggle, being able to create a really great profit margin in terms of sourcing supplies here locally. That's another thing, because I recently took a trip to China and stuff like that in hopes of trying to solve all of those issues. But just being able to source stuff here locally, and again, for it to make sense, going through the process of creating these pieces, getting prices that is fair to customers and still also makes sense to the company. To me, that is like one of my biggest struggles in terms of figuring out that.
I mean, that's business time, effort, energy, creativity.
Yes.
Right? The part of the side of the coin that many of us don't see. We just see this here and be
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, all right, I'm gonna wear this today.
Yeah.
And it's also getting the public to understand that I am human too.
Yes.
Right? And this is a dire question. Dealing with the public.
Right.
Dealing with the public. What is one life lesson you have learned about humans that this business has taught you?
That this business has taught me? People really don't care. They don't care that you are human.
They
really.
just want you to show up.
They
Just
don't
show
care.
up.
They don't care. And the thing is, I struggle with that at first, but I like what I tell myself is like, you know what, that's fine, like their job is not to care. Once I am able to create
produce.
and not just that, create a system that works for me, that I'm still able to show up for them, but at the same time, and hence the pivot, because I'm still showing up to a point as much as I can, and I'm still able to now create a system that works for me, that works for my son, that I still is able to provide value, but still have boundaries. So a lot of things I would have done before, again, I've lost a lot of customers because of that. Because a lot of customers, when I would have done custom wear and stuff, it was a huge shift for them, and not everybody understands the shift or appreciates the shift or appreciates the process, as I
that's
said.
a better word in to use. Appreciate.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah, and as I said, I've just decided that's quite fine. That's quite fine. It's not their job too. I am providing value regardless, but I do have my boundaries now as how far or how wide I'm going to spread myself.
Yes. I mean, if you all see me out here, I'm telling you, because I hate, and I'm using that word, to walk into an event.
Oh, yes.
And then I'm ready to go home. Here what's going on. I don't care if it's $1,300 or $1,700 I spent. I am ready to go home.
Yes.
And the reality is that if we look at the dynamic of our fashion structure in Trinidad Tobago, people take dressing really seriously.
Yes. Yeah.
For me, I always say some people play dress up, but I am dress up.
Yes.
Right? It's something that people take. I have been planning my outfit since last year carnival.
Wow.
For this carnival.
Wow.
Yeah. As you said, clothes make you feel good. Clothes make you feel seen. People look at you a particular way when you dress well. And that's why I say you are in this industry and you are building people's confidence. You are building people's personality, and it's not something to take lightly, because I cannot buy fabric for myself. And we know fabric is skin tones, this, that, whatever. So this, and then you are under the umbrella of each one teach one, because you started this academy. You didn't have to.
Yeah.
You could have kept it to yourself. You could have done it all for yourself. But I'm handing over what I already know to someone else.
Yes.
That is a job well done. Yes. In case nobody told you that, that is a job well done.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up, anything else you want to say?
I would overall advice to like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Overall, again, it would be more again to really should I watch the camera?
Yeah.
Camera. I would definitely say always allow yourself to try new things. Do not box yourself in, because if I really box myself into what society expected me to do, thankfully I had a family that was very supportive when I said, okay, y'all, I'm gonna leave my job. They were like, okay, whatever anything I decide to do. They're like, okay, I'm really grateful for that. But regardless, still do not allow yourself to be boxed in. Definitely take deep and figure out what it is I really want to do, regardless of what it looks like to others. Definitely go after it. Life is short.
Really
we have to go after it. And again, if you fail at it, I mean, there's a lesson to be learned, right? There's a lesson to be learned. Go again. If it's not the same thing, try something new with the lesson that you learned from the previous thing.
Yep. How do we go about if we need to get... Well, I know how I'm going because I already saw what it is I want on the rack here. So when the camera comes on the next time on the hub, how do we Adanna? I want you all to know that at Taylor M, I am going to be wearing a Taylor M. But for everybody else who doesn't have the luxury like I do, how do they go about setting an appointment, coming to see you, getting the finished product?
Okay, so I do have a website, www.taylormlimited.com. Limited as LTD. And on the website, you could purchase our mini collections, our capsule collections. You can get that there. But outside of that, we do have a custom order request. So where you could fill that out, and then I could have a consultation with you. And we just discuss what it is we're trying to achieve. What are you in terms of the vision that it's trying to bring to life, the issues you have, again, body types, the purpose of why we're mainly doing the custom order as well. And
it's that easy.
Yeah.
I keep telling you all, we are in the season of fabric and jewelry and just being outside of the box. You all know you are going to see me in my frocks out there. I am telling you all, Adanna, you all need to book an appointment. Taylor M, as always, love, life, fabric, fashion. We were here.